Hi guys, so today I'm going to be telling you all how to get this look, which is golden bronzed look with golden shimmering cheeks and golden eyes. So if you want to find out how to get this look, keep watching, hope you enjoy. Okay, so first things first, we're going to do our face. And before you apply any makeup products, be sure to moisturise because this is quite a dewy golden look. So to get that look, be sure to moisturise your skin before you put on any products. So I've done that already and I've used just my everyday moisturiser, which is Olay Complete Care Essentials. And next up I'm going to conceal a few parts of my face, and I'm going to be using my favourite concealer for this, which is really high coverage. It's the Collection 2000 Lasting Perfection, which I'm sure everybody's heard of. Unfortunately, it's all come off my bottle, but this is in the shade 3 medium. So I don't really get that many blemishes on my skin, but I do get quite bad redness and blotches. So I'm just going to apply it first of all under my eyes. I've just got a mirror here. And around my eyes because I get quite bad redness, and I'm just going to blend that in lightly using my finger. And then I'm going to do just around my nose. I get really bad redness. And I'm just going to blend that out into my inner cheeks and down my nose. As you can see, that looks better already. It is a really good concealer. It's like £4 I think. You can get that in any Boots, any Superdrug. Really worth it. Anywhere that I'm going to get blemishes is going to be my chin. My chin will break out badly. So I'm going to conceal a little bit there. And then just T on my forehead. So after you've concealed, you move on to your foundation. I'm going to be using MAC Studio Fix Fluid in the shade NW25, just because it's full coverage and it's a good colour for this look. Studio Fix Fluid is probably my #1 foundation. I've tried Bobbi Brown and Clinique and all that jazz, but always go back to MAC. So I'm going to apply that with my MAC 187 stippling brush. This is my favourite brush to apply foundation. I find that regular foundation brushes just give me a much too sort of false look. It looks like I literally have just painted on my foundation, but stippling brush gives me full coverage, but at the same time it looks not natural, but it gives me just a really nice sort of airbrushed finish and less of a slapped on look, which nobody wants. So I'm just going to put a pump onto my hand and get my stippling brush and just lightly. Key is be light, like don't be too heavy handed with this brush. Get it all over your brush and then just stipple it first of all across your face. So once you've stippled that, you just want to blend it in lightly, working outward. You can move on to bronzer, which is going to be really key for this look. So you can use whatever bronzer you like the best, but at the moment my favourite is the Bourjois Delice de Poudre. And as you can see, hit pan, I love it. I find this to be my favourite drugstore bronzer, and it smells really good. So I'm going to be applying that with my MAC Kabuki brush, the MAC 182. And I'm going to be applying it just to my cheekbones. I'm not contouring this look, I just want a bronzed look to my skin and not so much a contour. So I'm just going to be applying it where the sun would naturally hit my face. And I'm just going to blend it down. And just to your temples. Around your nose, and blending it into your jawline. And there you go, that's your bronzer done. And next up is blush. Because it's more of a bronze glowing look, that's the focus, what's it on. I'm not really going to be too heavy handed with my blusher, but I'm going to be using an Eco Tools blush brush and a Bourjois blush pot in the shade 54 Rose Frisson. And I'm just going to apply that to my upper cheeks. Just a really light amount. So next up we're going to do highlight on our cheekbones. We want a really golden, glowing, fresh look. So I'm going to use a gold powder just on my cheekbones. For this I've actually found that the Naked palette comes in useful, and I'm going to be using the shade Half Baked, which is just like a golden glittery colour. I'm going to take a different bronzer brush, which is the Bourjois Kabuki brush, and just get the edge of it and just dip it lightly into the Half Baked. And then just bring it, lightly blending it on your cheekbones. Okay guys, so as you can see, hopefully the light is not too bad, you can see it's given me a really nice golden shimmering glow when the light hits me. It looks really nice, and it's really nice for a night out. It looks really nice in photographs. So next up I'm going to just apply some eyebrows, and for that I use my trusty Naked palette. This will come in handy a lot in this tutorial. It's my favourite one at the moment. And I'm going to apply that using just an angle brush. This one I think is from H&M, and they're about £2. I'm using the shade Buck on my eyebrows, which is just a completely matte light brown. For my eyebrows, I'm never that interested in having a very polished look. I really don't think I suit that. I just like them to be tidy and quite natural looking. And now we can move on to our eyes. So the first eyeshadow I'm going to apply is going to go all over my lid, and for that I'm going to be using this Urban Decay palette. It's quite old, and I haven't used it very much because they are really bright colours that I would never really reach for. But for this tutorial I'm going to be using this shade, which is Underground, and as you can see it's a really nice goldeny bronzed shimmer. I'm going to apply that using my Urban Decay Good Karma brush, which looks like this. It's a flat brush. I'm just going to dab that in and apply it to my lid. Just blending it out all over. You don't need to be neat at all, which is a good thing for me. And next up, I'm going to take the shade that I used on my cheeks, which is Half Baked from the Naked palette, which is just a gorgeous gold. Like, that is just, oh, I love that colour. And I'm going to take a fluffy brush. I'm just using an Eco Tools one. And I'm just going to really lightly apply it all over my lid. Not like applying a colour, just like giving it a little bit of extra golden shimmer. I just find this really helps to bring out the shimmer in the underground. Then whilst I'm at it, I'm going to take the Half Baked and just get it on the tip of my fluffy brush and apply it into my inner corners, the tear duct. Not too liberally, or it can look a bit, I'm not a fan of really shimmer in the inner corners, but for this look it looks really, really nice. It'll really bring out the highlight in your cheeks as well. So you just want to go right in and just lightly pulling it downwards. So as you can see, that doesn't look out of place or too OTT. It really, really works with your highlight and with the bronze in your eyes. So the next thing I'm going to do is take a fluffy brush. Again, I'm using my Eco Tools, just a different one. And I'm going to take the shade Smog in the Naked palette, which is a shimmery chocolatey brown. It just looks like this. And I'm just going to take some of that onto my fluffy brush, and I'm going to start at the outer corners of my eye and just first of all take it in a diagonal line out, just really softly, and then blend it into my crease and outwards always, and then into my crease really lightly in really quick little motions. I'm going to bring it just under my eye. I pull some weird faces when I apply eye makeup, it's so strange. I always catch myself looking really strange. And then the same on the other eye. So overall that's what your eyeshadow should kind of look like. And as you can see, it just works really, really nicely with tanned, glowing, golden skin. You can really see that hitting off your cheeks, and it'll look so well with those eyes. Okay, so next step we're going to do is liquid eyeliner. So I'm just going to be using my Barry M black liquid eyeliner. So I'm just going to apply it in a moderately thick line, just to highlight your eyes. If you're like me especially and you're fair, liquid eyeliner will just help you so much. So I'm just going to apply it in quite a thick line across and bringing it out slightly at the end. We don't want to make this too dramatic and take away from the shimmer. I prefer to start in the middle of my eye and first of all work outwards. Bring it back in. And then just bring it in. So as you can see, all that's doing is bringing up my eyes a bit more. I'm going to bring it underneath in a really just subtle line. Drawing it up with that flick going out. And then you just do the same with the other eye. So after you've applied your liquid eyeliner, we're going to steer clear of any kohl in our waterline because that would be just too heavy and too smoky for this look. So we're going to move straight on to mascara. For this I'm just using my everyday mascara, my favourite one at the moment, which is the L'Oreal Lash Architect 4D, which comes in a silver bottle like this. So I always like to do quite thick, dramatic eyelashes. Okay, so as you can see, it separates your lashes really, really nicely, gives you a nice full effect. It's a really, really nice mascara. So last but not least is our lips. So for this look, I've decided to use my Bourjois 3D in the shade 33 Brum Poetic, correct me if I'm wrong. So I'm just going to apply this all over my natural lip. So that leaves you with really nice sun-kissed, glowing, golden goddess look. A lot of G's in there. Apologies that my lighting isn't great, so you probably can't get the full effect. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all very soon. Bye!